All right, let's be real. Have you ever felt totally overwhelmed by all the fitness advice out there? I mean, endless exercises, super complex workout splits, information that's always conflicting. You're definitely not alone. It can feel like you need a PhD just to figure out what to do at the gym. But what if the best path, the most effective one, was actually the simplest? Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and build a clear, science-backed roadmap to get you maximum results in minimum time.
You know, the modern gym can sometimes feel like a maze, right? But what if the secret wasn't about adding more exercises, but actually doing fewer, smarter ones? What if you could build more muscle and strength way more efficiently than you ever thought possible? The research is crystal clear. You absolutely can. And it all comes down to one core principle.
And that idea is what we're going to call the efficiency principle. Now, this isn't some magic shortcut. Nope, it's about making a fundamental choice in the type of exercises you focus on. It's really the difference between doing, say, 5 different kinds of bicep curls, which feels busy, and doing one set of heavy pull-ups that works your entire back and your biceps. One is busy, the other is productive.
So, here's the crucial point. I want you to think of compound lifts as the Swiss Army knife of your workout. It's one tool that does multiple jobs. They hit several muscle groups all at once, which makes them incredibly time efficient. Now, isolation lifts, on the other hand, they're like a tiny little screwdriver. Yeah, they're good for one very specific job, but you need a whole toolbox of them to build anything real. For maximum efficiency, we want that Swiss Army knife every time.
So what exactly is this Swiss Army knife? Well, it's a compound exercise. The official definition is any multi-joint movement that gets several muscles working at the same time. We're talking the classics, squats, which hammer your quads, glutes, hamstrings, and core. Or the bench press, hitting your chest, shoulders, and triceps all in one go. This, right here, is our foundation.
So now that we know what we're looking for, let's build out the how. And this isn't just some random list of exercises I like. This is a blueprint, and it's based on research into which movements give you the most bang for your buck. We're going to start from the ground up.
For your lower body, these are the heavy hitters, plain and simple. For developing your quads and glutes, squats and leg presses are the undisputed champions. Then for the whole back of your body, your hamstrings and glutes, what we call the posterior chain, I mean, nothing even comes close to the activation you get from a Romanian or conventional deadlift. These are absolute cornerstones. And you don't have to just take my word for it. The science really backs these choices up. For instance, a big systematic review on glute activation found that step-ups, one of the exercises we just saw, actually fired up the gluteus maximus more than almost anything else. See, this isn't guesswork. It's about picking the exercises that are proven to be superior. All right, moving on up to the upper body, the logic is exactly the same. We need a push and we need a pull. For your pushing movements, different variations of the bench press and the overhead press are just fundamental for building your chest and shoulders. And for pulling, which is what develops that strong back, you just can't beat movements like pull-ups and rows. These are the essentials. Okay, so we've covered the big push and pull movements for the upper and lower body. But what about the piece that literally connects them, your core? You know, most people think that means endless crunches and planks, but the research reveals something, well, surprising and frankly, a whole lot more efficient.
Let me just ask you this. What do you think is the single best exercise to build a strong, stable core? Come on, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Is it the plank? The sit-up? Maybe some fancy ab machine? Well, the answer might just change how you think about ab day forever.
And there it is. Multiple studies have found that big, free-weight compound lifts, yep, the very same squats and deadlifts we've already been talking about, activate your core muscles more than many of the popular core-specific exercises. So why is that? Well, your body has to work like crazy to stabilize that heavy weight, which gives you an incredible core workout without ever doing a single crunch. And this chart just illustrates the point perfectly. When you compare the level of core muscle engagement during heavy squats and deadlifts to an exercise like the plank, it's not even close. The demand for stability during those huge lifts gives you a way better training stimulus. You're basically getting a 2-for-1 deal, building strong legs and a rock-solid core all at the same time. Okay, so we've got our principles, we have our list of the best exercises. Now for the most important part. How do we turn all this knowledge into a simple, actionable plan you can start using today? So the science of muscle growth really just boils down to a few key variables you can control, almost like dials on a control panel. You've got volume, that's just how much you lift in total. Intensity, that's how heavy you're lifting. Frequency, how often you train. And then there's variety, how many different exercises you do.
And what the research makes super clear is that consistency with the basics absolutely crushes constantly changing things up. That makes variety the least important dial for you to worry about.
So let's dial in that most important number first, volume. The scientific consensus is pretty clear that for muscle growth, that's hypertrophy, the magic number is at least 10 hard sets per muscle group per week. And a hard set means you're pushing close to failure, where those last few reps are a genuine struggle. That's your main target right there.
Next up is intensity, which for us we can just think of as our rep range. And the research points to a surprisingly wide sweet spot. Anything from 6 to 15 reps per set, as long as you're taking it close to muscular failure, is going to be incredibly effective for growth. Yeah, the lower end will feel heavier and build more pure strength, and the higher end will give you more of that burn. But guess what? Both will build muscle.
So what does all this look like in practice? Honestly, it can be this simple. The research confirms that you can hit every major muscle group in your body effectively with just 3 core movements: a lower body push like a squat, an upper body push like a bench press, and an upper body pull like a row. That's it. That is a full, effective, science-backed workout.
So, as we start to wrap this up, the message isn't to stop working hard. It's to stop wasting your effort. It's all about applying your hard work in the most intelligent, evidence-based way you possibly can.
If you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. The foundation of any time-efficient and effective strength program is built on heavy, compound movements. Prioritize getting strong on the big pushes, pulls, and squats. Everything else is just details.
And that leaves us with one final question for you to really think about. Take a hard look at your current routine. Is it a powerful, efficient multi-tool where every single movement serves multiple purposes? Or is it just a cluttered drawer full of single-use gadgets? The answer to that question could be the key to unlocking your best results yet.